Hello there and welcome again. So, we've been talking about social media management and who a social media user is and who a social media manager is also. So, today we're going to be talking about problems that a social media manager actually solve. So, what are these problems? Social media managers actually solve a lot of problems across social, economic, strategic, and communication problems. And we're talking about the first problem, which is the social problem. So, and the top heading of the social problem is reputation and trust. So the job of a social media manager to solve this social problem is to manage a brand's image, handle crisis, address misinformation, and maintain trust. Let's just say, for example, a brand or let's say a bill payment brand was being accused of using maybe their app or something to run a Ponzi scheme kind of thing, and you as a social media manager, you know that that is just someone trying to tarnish the image of the brand. It is your job to manage the brand's image at that point in time, handle the crisis that is happening at that point, address misinformation, try to know what and how this started and know how you can solve it. And with all of this, you will be able to maintain trust. So we talk about the economic problem, and the subheading is sales and conversion. So when it comes to economic problem, the social media manager drives product, service awareness to engagement to sale, and turn followers to customers. So let's say, for instance, a business is suffering because of like we said, talk about social media user. Probably the owner of the business is actually a social media user and doesn't know how to make use of the social media platform with, like running ads, metrics and the rest of it. He doesn't know how to do it. So the social media manager then comes in and drives product, service awareness to engagement. So from service awareness, it turns to engagement, and from engagement, it turns to sale. That's what this means here. And then turns the followers to customers. So that's the job of the um social media manager when it comes to solving economic problem. With all of this, the business would actually thrive because the social media manager was trained to do this particular job and to solve this particular problem. So when we're talking about communication problem, a lot of social media user, I would say, actually have this issue of replying and responding to comments. Probably they posted something, or they posted something, or and due to busy schedule, they were not able to reply, or maybe something, or just they don't like post replying to comments. You can hire a social media user. You can hire, and you as a social media manager rather, you can hire a social media manager, and you as a social media manager, it's your job to solve this communication problem. And the subtopic is feedback and engagement loops. A social media manager serve as a bridge between customer and the company. So, like I said, a business owner does not have the time, or also just like posting, does not like just like replying to comments. This business owner can actually use money to save time for himself by hiring a social media manager, which is you that is learning this course now. And the social media manager would gather insight and respond in real time because he or she has served as a bridge between the customer of that brand, of that product or business or whatever, and the company. So the fourth one is the strategic slash operational problem. Time and attention economy is the subheading. So a social media manager captures attention in this fast scrolling, distracted environment. As a social media manager is trained to know how to engage users, social media users, because in today's world a lot of persons are scrolling through and they don't scroll through without even having without even knowing what they are scrolling through. So a social media the job of a social media manager is to attract these persons that are scrolling through their phones every day. Let me say, for instance, you have a food you sell, or you're working for someone who sells clothes. So in this fast scrolling distracted environment, or you brand clothes, as your social media manager, there is a way with which you can bring these persons to your DMs. There's a way you can bring these persons to your DMs, to your space, for them to be able to get this your product, or to get the product of whoever that owns the business. So the job of a social media manager, in terms of strategic and operational problem, is to capture attention of social media users in this fast scrolling distracted environment. Then the last is the psychological slash the behavioral problems. So a social media manager influences. So the subtopic is influence and behavior change. So the social media manager shapes audience perception, preferences, and behavior over time. So this is the problems that a social media manager actually solves. So see you in our next video on social media management. Stay with us.